It's a mess washing clothes in this old washing machine. How I wish we had a new one. I also forgot that Puta needs a laptop for his schoolwork. It's been some time since we went shopping.
It's now zero.
What? Is everything over?
No. When you buy with the People's Credit Card, the interest is zero.
Buy anything you please with a People's Credit Card from selected outlets and pay it off within 36 months with zero interest. Offer valid till December 31st at selected outlets. More details at www.peoplesbank.lk.
In a few moments, the news.
Buy anything you please with a People's Credit Card from selected outlets with zero interest.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
.6:15, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Niranjan Abesundara. The Prime Minister requests simultaneous prayers from all faiths to invoke blessings for the country. The curfew in the Western Province and several more areas lifted from tomorrow. State officials requested to summon minimum staff. COVID-19 recoveries exceed 8,000. All public transport services to commence from tomorrow. In world news, world leaders congratulate U.S. President-elect Joe Biden. Sports news tennis, Alexander Zverev beats Rafael Nadal to reach the Paris final. The Minister of Buddha and Religious Affairs, the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa requests the Department of Muslim Religious Affairs to conduct simultaneous special prayers in Islamic places of worship together with Buddhists, Hindus and Christians from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. today. Issuing a statement, Director of the Department of Muslim Religious and Cultural Affairs requested all mosques to conduct the prayers, seeking protection for the people all over the world, and especially Sri Lanka, and for the speedy recovery of the patients from COVID-19. Accordingly, the special prayers were organized by all main mosques in non-quarantine curfew areas. The Ministry of Public Services, Provincial Councils and Local Government says only a minimum staff required to perform duties at government institutions should be called for duties from tomorrow, despite the quarantine curfew being lifted in the Western Province. Minister Secretary J. Rathan Siri said heads of each institution have the authority to call the employees, while the rest of the staff should perform their duties from home. The number of COVID-19 recoveries recorded in the country surpassed 8,000 after another 562 persons who contracted the virus recovered and were discharged during the past 24 hours. Epidemiological unit of the Ministry of Health said total recoveries increased to 8,285. The number of infections is at 13,419. Sri Lanka yesterday became the 106th country to confirm more than 13,000 coronavirus cases since the COVID-19 pandemic broke out in Wuhan, China, following detection of 449 new cases. 5,100 persons, including 3 foreign nationals, are currently receiving treatment for COVID-19 at 51 hospitals across the country, while 297 suspected cases remain under medical observation. 34 cases of deaths due to COVID-19 have been reported in the country thus far. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Buy anything you please with a People's Credit Card from selected outlets with zero interest.
Sri Lanka's Transport Minister has announced that 5,000 buses and 48 office trains will be deployed for public transport services from tomorrow. The announcement came days after the government signalled its intention to resume services, with the country continuing its fight against the coronavirus. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Railways says trains will not stop at stations in isolated areas from tomorrow. However, measures have been taken to operate office trains from tomorrow while adhering to health guidelines. Accordingly, trains will not stop at Dematagada, Horape, Kalaniya, Ragama, Vanavasala, Walpala, Enderimulla and Bathwata stations along the main railway line. Along the Puttalam railway line, trains will not stop at Peralanda substation and Kurana, Jala, Nigambo, Tadal, Katua and Kudakapala. The Railway Department adds trains will not make stops at the Panadura and Pindwata substations along the coastal line, at the Westline station and Kota Road substation along the Kaldi Valley line. Trains will also not stop at the Kurunagala and Muthugulu substation along the northern line. Moreover, police say all expressways and other entry points to the western province will be open tomorrow, in light of the quarantine curfew being lifted at 5 a.m. Speaking during a media briefing, acting police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohan requested the public to only leave homes for essential activities despite lifting the curfew. The Ratna Sutra Pirit chanting program conducted by the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation will be held today at the Bellan Viraja Mahavihare from 6:30 p.m. onwards with the participation of the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Ratna Sutra recital will be aired live on the commercial service SLBC, City FM and all regional services. Meanwhile, the all-island Ratna Sutra chanting program organised by the Minister of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs was conducted today between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. But in chanting ceremony conducted at the Sri Rambodhi Mahavidya Viharya in Vijayarama Mawatha was joined by the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Moreover, prayers were conducted by other faiths in conjunction with the main program to invoke blessings for the country due to the coronavirus pandemic. And that ends local news for now.
Buy anything you please with a People's Credit Card from selected outlets and pay it off within 36 months with zero interest. More details at www.peoplesbank.lk.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Army Command Lieutenant General Chandra Silva says the quarantine curfew currently imposed in the Western Province and other areas will be lifted tomorrow. Decision will be in effect from 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. However, the Army Commander said it has been decided to isolate several areas further upon identifying them as risk areas. Reportedly, 12 police divisions in the Colombo district and several apartment complexes have been identified as risk areas. He pointed out, majority of COVID-19 cases currently found in the Colombo district have been identified through these locations. Accordingly, the following areas in the Colombo district will continue to remain under isolation orders until further notice: Mattakulia, Modera, Blumendal, Kotahena, Grand Pass, Foreshore, Barber Street, Maligabatha, Dermatogada, Vallampitia, Kesalbatha and Borala police areas. In addition, 8 police divisions in the Gampar district, 3 areas in the Kathura district, 2 areas each in the Kurunagala and Kagala districts will also be further isolated. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And on to Watchlight, the Ministry of Health has introduced a set of guidelines to be followed by 55 sectors upon relaxation of public activities in response to COVID-19. The minister said the pandemic situation in the country is subject to change from time to time, and level of activity permitted and the number of people engaged in this function will need to be changed. Therefore, an Alert 11 system has been introduced based on an understanding of public and work setting in Sri Lanka. Alert 11 1. Cases reported coming from outside the country. Alert level 2, 1 cluster of cases. Alert level 3, several clusters in different districts. Alert level 4, cases appearing with no connection to any cluster. That came to in Watchlight. On to world news. World leaders congratulate U.S. President-elect Joe Biden. Global coronavirus cases are past 5 million. The Queen wears a face mask as she marks Unknown Warrior Centenary. World leaders are congratulating US President-elect Joe Biden. South Korean President Moon Jae-in wrote on Twitter that the alliance between the two countries is stronger than ever before. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrote on Twitter congratulating on a spectacular victory and very much looking forward to working closely together once again to take India-US relations to greater heights. Prime Minister Modi also congratulated Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, whose mother is from India. President Modi stated her success is path-breaking and a matter of immense pride for all Indian Americans. Meanwhile, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison welcomed Biden's commitment to multilateral institutions and strengthening democracies. Is the United States leadership essential in tackling the challenges the world faces, including managing the pandemic and health and the economic front, ensuring a free and open Indo-Pacific region and peace stability? According to data from Johns Hopkins University, reported COVID-19 cases around the world reached 5 million as some countries begin easing strict social distancing guidelines and look to reopen their economies. The number of reported cases worldwide hit 5,038,038 and global health toll now stands at 320,172. The latest morbid milestone comes as the spread of the coronavirus across the world shows no signs of slowing down. Even as outbreaks in China and other countries appear to have abated, the pandemic has picked up speed in other parts of the world. The Queen has worn a face mask in public for the first time. On Wednesday, the monarch, aged 94, made a private pilgrimage to the grave of unknown warrior in Westminster Abbey to mark the centenary of his burial. It comes ahead of Remembrance Day commemorations today. She requested service after some events were scaled back due to the pandemic. Face coverings are required by law in England in certain indoor settings, including places of worship. And back to the headlines of the world news. World leaders congratulate US President-elect Joe Biden. Global coronavirus cases surpass 5 million. The Queen wears a face mask as she marks unknown warrior centenary. That was World News.
Development News is brought to you by...
My wife always sets a full lunch table, even if it's just the two of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan නෙවෙයි.
On to development news, attention has been drawn to issues confronted by traditional craftsmanship industries and the rural industries sector to empower those involved in those industries, since it has been revealed that these sectors can considerably influence the Sri Lankan economy. Accordingly, it has been planned to supply the raw material for these industries at a concessionary basis in order to provide these manufacturers the opportunity to enable price their products to compete with imported goods when marketing their production in the market. With the view of realizing this objective, the Cabinet Ministers rendered their approval to the proposal furnished by the Minister of Industries for obtaining empty bullet shell cases and disposed army plates from Sri Lanka Army, Sri Lanka Air Force and Sri Lanka Navy outside the formal procurement procedure, but subject to the price matrix approved by the Cabinet Ministers in the year 2017. That was development news.
When Tati bought a new family car, it wasn't just for the four of us.
It's a 10-seater van. Enough for friends and relatives too.
Me insisted on building an extra room in our new house. Well, you never know who'll come to stay. We need more pillows too.
When I was studying late, Nangi would come by to help.
No, I don't know physics, but I do know you need a Munchie Super Cream Cracker.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others.
When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves.
Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan නෙවෙයි.
On to sports news, it's tennis. World number 2 Rafael Nadal was beaten at the semi-final stage of the Paris Masters as German Alexander Zverev advanced with a 6-4-7-5 victory. It was the second successive win against the 20-time Grand Slam winner for the world number 7 Zverev, who lost their first 5 meetings. Zverev, winner of 13 ATP events, sealed the match in 1 hour and 39 minutes. Fourth seed Zverev, who won 2 titles in as many weeks last month, faces Dani Medvedev in today's final. That was sports news.
Empower your dreams with NSV Wings. NSV Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
UK businesses heard from keynote speakers about opportunities in specific sectors and in the Sri Lankan market as a whole when the British High Commission in Colombo hosted a virtual showcase of Sri Lankan trade investment opportunities. Participants also learned from UK businesses already operating in Sri Lanka. The event held on Thursday. British High Commission said in a news release the session was a part of a 2-week Department for International Trade UK South Asia virtual roadshow from 2nd to 12th of November. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The wait is over and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Having identified the national importance of revamping the business affected by COVID-19 pandemic, Central Bank of Sri Lanka, in consultation with the Government of Sri Lanka, implemented Saubhagya COVID-19 Renaissance Loan Scheme facility in 3 phases to provide working capital loan at an interest rate of 4% per annum with a repayment period of 24 months, including a grace period of 6 months. However, it is observed that most of the borrowers have experienced difficulties in revamping their businesses as expected due to the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, having considered the importance of facilitating and encouraging borrowers to repay the loans without any failure, CBS decided to extend the grace period applicable for the loans registered under Saubhagya COVID-19 Renaissance facility by additional 3 months upon the written request made by the borrowers. According to beneficiaries of these working capital schemes who wish to receive a grace period of 9 months are required to send a written request to the relevant bank. Well, that came to you in Economic News.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
It will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And out of the Weather Met Department says that thunder showers accompanied by severe lightning are likely to occur at several places on the island. Heavy showers about 100 millimeters can be expected some places in the western, Sabaragama, northwestern and southern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Badul and Monalga districts. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. That was the weather report, and back to the headlines of the news. The Prime Minister requests simultaneous prayers from all faiths to invoke blessings for the country. The curfew in the Western Province and several more areas lifted from tomorrow. State officers requested to summon minimum staff. COVID-19 recoveries exceed 8,000. All public transport services to commence from tomorrow. In world news, world leaders congratulate US President-elect Joe Biden. Sports news, Alexander Zverev beats Rafael Nadal to reach the Paris final.